What is going on? Welcome to another episode of Music Row Hideout, the show where we hang out with artists, musicians, and entertainers in Waylon Jennings' old basement studio. My name is Jury, and as always, I am gathered here with co-host Ryan Poole, while I'll pass it to introduce the guest.
Tonight, on a very special episode of Music Row Hideout,
Most special.
we have a return guest from Season 1, which this is the first time we've had a Season 1 guest back.
I think it's the first time we've referred to the past episodes as a season.
Oh, I do on our Spotify metrics.
Okay.
But everything we did before 2020 was Season 1, and everything we did starting in 2022 is Season 2. Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe it'll just be Season 2 forever, who knows. But welcome back to the show, Alyssa, middle name here, Jacey.
You can have that in post.
Alyssa Blue Jacey.
She goes by middle name, like that's her street name.
It is.
What a middle name!
Yo, 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 yo. It's good to be back, Season 2. I'm just so happy to be back in the room with y'all. Didn't know if I'd get invited.
Season 2.
Now, Alyssa Jacey is a singer and songwriter from San Diego, California.
Well,
What?
And interestingly, but she lives in, so I should jump ahead before I do the connection part. She has been in Nashville now for 10 plus years.
11 and almost half. January 12th was my 11th anniversary.
Which makes you official Nashvilleian.
I think
is that
so.
what it is? Is it a
Yeah.
decade?
Yeah, it's 10 years. But the funny thing is so obviously everybody knows who listens to the show regularly. Jury and I are from California, from San Diego, and Wesley, our producer, who you can't see. Oh wait, go to the Wesley cam. Wesley is from San Diego, and we all met there. But we actually didn't meet you in San Diego. We met you here. It's just kind of a coincidence that you're from San Diego.
It is a divine coincidence, yes.
But you were, if I remember right, I mean, it's been a couple of years, but NorCal, or Northern San Diego.
Norsan.
Not Northern California. Norsan?
Norsan.
Northern San Diego.
My heart's racing. I lived kind of all over. Like Solana Beach, Encinitas, Carlsbad, and when I moved to Nashville, I was down near Balboa Park,
Okay.
Bankers Hill specifically.
Right. That's the best spot. I love Balboa Park. I miss Balboa Park.
You know what misses you too? It told me.
It does.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But like, that's where I took my wife on our first date. Went to the Prado.
Oh my gosh.
That's where they got engaged.
Before we got engaged. Like, I used to go to Balboa Park for everything. I love that. There's no equivalent in Nashville.
That's true.
There's no equivalent and then a period at the end of that sentence.
There's no equivalent. Yeah, it's phenomenal. They got the zoo right there. Have you been in the Nashville Zoo?
The Nashville Zoo?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's fine.
Once.
It's fine.
I mean, are we going to compare? Because it's not apples to apples.
They got no pandas.
No.
No real ones. They got the red pandas, but those are just
The
raccoons
Nashville
with
Zoo is
flair.
very small.
Yeah, it's nice. I enjoyed it. But
It's cute.
Yeah, it's kind of like if for your like a toddler's shoe in comparison to like an adult heel or something.
Yeah.
True,
Though I
true,
will
true.
say, their reptile area kills it.
yeah, oh, it was cool.
Remember?
I remember it was cool.
They had like an
Metaphorically, or-
extensive.
Yeah, hopefully metaphorically.
They had an extensive reptile area.
No, they
their
just let the
reptile
snakes
area
out.
was much larger than the San Diego Zoo. I would say that's their shining
really
crown of achievement.
larger.
Yeah. Remember where like their fish and reptiles are?
I do remember
would
it
say
was
it's
big.
larger. The San Diego Zoo reptile, you kind of like in out. You're on the way to the tiger thing. You're just like, oh look, a snake, lizard, and tigers.
Do you have to say the word snake like you're from Alabama?
Snake.
A snake, a snake, a snake, a snake.
A snake. But
I don't remember that at all.
yeah,
I
it's
also
the-
haven't been there.
exactly.
In
It's been a long
it's
time,
not
12
yeah.
But
plus
at the Nashville Zoo, the reptiles are the shining crown of achievement.
like their
they
big
have
thing.
so many things,
is
so
their big
many
thing, yeah.
snakes,
Snakes,
and
snakes.
lizards, and geckos,
That's also a lizard.
and iguanas.
It's also a lizard.
Oh, now you're McConaughey.
McConaughey.
McConaughey shirt off guy.
Shirt off guy.
I like that guy.
Wow, tremendous.
He read me a
Alright,
story
alright.
once as I was
We
falling
talked about
asleep.
Matthew McConaughey last
I
week.
have
Do you have
Calm also.
My wife uses. I use Slumber now,
Oh.
not Calm.
Are we promoting? We need.
time to fall asleep.
Yeah.
now.
We're gonna promote them.
Yeah. Calm. Go ahead and send me a check.
Get that money.
All right. You're looking to catch some Z's, fall asleep, get to bed. That's what we're doing here.
Ryan Poole almost like a little bit in the light and shadows looks like Matthew McConaughey a little bit right now.
I'll take it. I like that guy. I read we talked about him literally last week on the show about his book. Have you read his book?
I don't need to read his book. I know he's fantastic.
You should read the book.
I hear his words.
It's so good. It's so interesting, and he narrates it, and he like tells his life story. And I don't know how much of it's a tall tale, but it sure is interesting.
He is a tall drink of water. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Would you marry Matthew McConaughey in a heartbeat?
No, I would not. I
might. I don't know.
You need a period of dating.
Yes, I need to maybe like get to know the person a little bit, see what their favorite color is, like for real.
I'll marry him right now.
You will?
Yeah. No prenup. Though.
Do we need to talk to your wife first, though?
No, she's cool with it. She'd be cool with it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. Now, speaking of favorite colors, you have an obvious favorite color, and you might be the only artist I know who has a favorite color. Real quick, would you hit that blue button for me? That's the sound the green button makes. You're evil.
I reached so far. Okay.
Yeah, you got to press it, and then it takes a second.
Just press it one time. There we go. Wow. You might be the only artist who, like, I know of who promotes a favorite color. Your favorite color, for people who aren't watching, and this is a good time to mention that you can watch us on Spotify or on YouTube. But if you're not watching, Alyssa is wearing a very blue dress, as she is always. So talk to me about the color blue.
I do change like my clothing though. It's not always this dress.
No,
just
just
so
this
everyone
one dress.
knows. I don't smell like 1981. I just like. Okay, so it started back when I was 16, and I had my first car was this color. It was brown, and I had paint chipping off of it. And I remember going to the paint store. What do you go to get your car painted?
Yeah, the paint store.
Body shop?
The body shop, whatever. The paint. I'm calling it the paint store.
Paint store.
Yeah.
And they had I will never forget this little tiny like cubicle of just awkward blinds and like white walls, and then this book of 5,000 colors. And I started going through looking at all the swatches, red, orange, yellow, green, blue. And I get to the blue swatches, and there's this little tiny swatch, royal blue, that had an opal coating over it. And it was like the heavens were saying like, ah, like it was just glowing. I'm like, okay, I have to paint my car this color. So I'm driving around San Diego, like the only person that has a royal blue, like shining bright ass blue. Sorry, can I cuss on this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Blue car, and it became this visual addiction to me. I remember I started to wear a ton of blue. I would be attracted to men might not have like had the look that I would usually go for, but if they wore blue, I would immediately want to talk to them more than wearing any other color.
Oh, so it started a lot later than I would have thought. I would have thought it came out like childhood. But this is not until you got a car.
16, not until I saw the swatch, which was called Highlight Blue Pearl. I will never forget it. And
Changed your life.
it changed my life. And
Wesley, can we get a highlight blue pearl on the screen?
Highlight Blue Pearl. And so I didn't start singing until I was about 25, and I knew that I had to brand myself. I'd already kind of unknowingly branded myself as the blue girl, so I started going around saying, bring the crew and wear your blue, calling my fans the blue crew. I'm boring the hell out of Ryan. He's yawned twice since I started this story.
Jesus,
8 minutes ago.
blue again.
But yeah, so it started with the obsession of like with the car and turning into my clothes and
Titty sprinkles.
Oh, wait, is that the color?
Is that highlight
Well, I
blue?
mean, that's a lot of different
that's a
shades.
lot of different options. It's like
Which one?
It would be like a Pepsi can blue with an opal coating over
Like
it.
sheen.
Kinda. Yeah, an opal sheen. Mhm.
Huh.
I'm seeing an opal sheen with one of those.
But here's the point.
Yeah.
It gets serious. It gets serious. My grandma passed away from Alzheimer's, and she did not get to see a show. I started singing 1 month after before she passed, so she never got to see a show. And I remember standing over her 2 hours before she had passed, thinking if I ever get a chance to give back to a charity, I'm going to do it through my brand and through singing. And so when you bring the crew and wear your blue, which means bring your friends and dress head to toe in as many favorite shades as you have, I will donate a portion of my merch sales and ticket sales to the Alzheimer's Association. So bring the crew and wear your blue.
Nice.
I learned something about Alzheimer's recently,
What'd you learn?
actually, that I thought was really interesting, which maybe you already know this, 'cause I'm guessing you probably know a lot about it. But when someone has Alzheimer's, they usually have it much, much earlier than before it's ever caught. And if you can catch it early enough, you can do a lot more than you can.
That's a very accurate statement. The second part is very accurate. To say the word usually have it before they...
Sure. Usually is probably a bad word. I'm not a medical professional. Just throw that out there now.
Well, I'll go ahead and use my doctorate that I don't have.
It's
and
something I
tell
read
you
on the
that.
internet.
But yeah, you want to.
I am a banana.
All right, this is the mood you're in today, all right? This is the button mood. All right.
It's a button pushing mood. But I thought that described you well. Go on.
In that moment. But no, it's true. And right now they had an incredible study that just happened where they put 5 people, 4 men, 1 woman through this trial. And the woman was the only person who actually made it through the end. And she had started with, I forget what they call it. It's like a plaque in her brain, and it had actually dissipated by the end of the trial. And this is the first study in the history of Alzheimer's where this particular medicine has now been approved by the FDA. And is it FDA?
FDA, yeah.
FDA.
You said it right the first
Food
time.
and Drug Administration.
Okay. Yeah, right.
Fada.
So, ta-da! We might have a cure. Like, we don't know for sure, but one person has almost gone backwards.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I know for a while that was theorized like to not be possible. People were like, we don't think you can go backwards.
Right. Well, this is, again, it's a trial, it's a test. It just happened. So I am actively following, and I will, I'm going to keep you on the edge of your seats, and I will keep you updated as long as you want to know. But that's why the blue thing is a big deal. I'm obsessed with it. I think it looks great on everybody. It's my brand, but it also is for charity.
My question is...
Oh my God, Ryan.
I've had a hard day. I have a question. Do you have like a goal for a certain amount of money that you want to like one day have donated to Alzheimer's?
Not necessarily. My goal is to, I would love to be a part of curing it. And if I can have any kind of percentage of any of my finances go towards that, that's what I want. That's a large reason what I do. I would like to be more successful so I can give more to them. I'm not where I want to be quite yet there, but I plan on giving as much as I possibly can and making a difference.
I realize now, obviously, I'm not a medical professional, and I do not know much of what I'm talking about.
I am a banana.
But I am a banana. So I just realized I don't actually know. Maybe you know this, maybe you don't. I have no idea. But I don't know the difference between Alzheimer's and dementia. I'm guessing that you knew what I was already going to ask, that you already are like, I got you.
Well, I'm not going to be able to quote exactly what it is, because when people come to me and they say, oh, my grandma or my grandfather has dementia, they're very similar signs. But with Alzheimer's, I know specifically they can get very irritated, easily agitated. There's just a lot of, the similarities are, I forgot where I put my keys, but we kind of do that every day, do we not?
Sure.
And my grandma...
I lost my AirPods today.
Yeah, well... check your brain.
He found him.
Check your brain.
I did fine.
But she would, the good, there's also a positive to it. So for Alzheimer's, she forgot that she was an alcoholic. So she completely stopped drinking. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, can we look this up? This is awesome.
Dementia is a general term for declined mental ability severe enough to interfere with daily life, while Alzheimer's is a specific disease. Alzheimer's is the most common cause of dementia.
Okay. So dementia's more like the state, where Alzheimer's is the disease that can cause that state.
There you go. That's much better eloquently put than
60% of the time.
Dementia is Alzheimer's.
We just made that up. Please do not take that as biblical.
I am a banana.
All right.
That is our disclaimer.
That's enough, Ryan.
Is that our disclaimer button?
That is our disclaimer button.
Yeah, that's if you ever think that anything that I say is accurate, please fact check me, because I'm not.
I mean, me too, for sure. But thank you for asking about that. It's probably the most not serious. I'm very serious about it, so we've been laughing a lot about it. So for anyone who's listening, I don't want you to think that I take this lightly.
Sure.
It's a very lighthearted room.
That's just how we treat
with the
everything
friends
here.
that we're in. Yeah. But I do take this seriously.
It's a very San Diego room.
This is very SD, dude.
We're like, I care about Alzheimer's, but also it's 70 degrees and sunny outside, so I'm going to go to the beach.
And I am a banana.
And I'm a banana. Yeah, that is a perfect representation for how much I know about things.
Okay.
I'm a banana.
Thank you for that.
Never take what I say as true.
So, wait, so I asked, I forget if you answered, do you have like a specific goal for what you're trying
Not
to...
specific.
Just I want to be as successful.
As much as possible.
Because two things I want to do. One, I would like to, if not cure Alzheimer's by giving them all the money for the research. I also, and be a major part of it, I would love to send my parents on a world wide trip separately. My dad has a girlfriend now. My mom is single, but still, if she ever gets a partner or whatever, I want to send them around the world because they have been such outstanding, amazing parents. I love them so much.
And I got to pay for 2 worldwide trips.
But I'd be more than happy to.
I mean, if your
first
mom doesn't
class-
find a partner, that's cheaper because now it's only 3
True.
worldwide trips.
Oh, I was going to say Ryan's going to be like, yo, I'll go.
Oh yeah, same.
Also,
yes.
Yeah, I want to give back to them.
I would be a phenomenal stepdad for you, Alyssa.
Would
Let
you
me just say.
Well, stop pressing stupid buttons about bananas then. Show me.
Hey,
Walk the walk, bro.
that's my charm. I press buttons.
That's what your mom likes so much about it.
Yes, she adores you. Oh, here we go. God.
What the hell is even that?
That is
good.
one of my favorite phrases from that show.
Really?
Absolutely. What the hell is even that?
Now, before we get too deep down the rabbit hole of everything,
Okay.
As we do.
yeah, that could be our show synopsis.
Rabbit holes?
We go down the hole of everything.
Yeah. Our show should just be called
Sound
ADHD Live.
Before that, we do like to play a song nice and up front so everybody hears what you sound like. What is your first song?
The first song you're going to hear is called Sha La La Love. And that's all you get.
All right. And here it is.
Fell flat on my face and it's hitting me hard. Didn't know I could break an unbreakable heart. Never meant to hurt you, but here we are, going through hell. Keep telling myself that even when you don't wanna be, you gotta be stronger than the weakest link. Cause there's no guarantee tomorrow will bring you what you need. Yeah, my philosophy is keep shining on strong. If you agree, sing sha la la la. We'll bring us together, sha la la la. We'll make it all better, even in the dark times. Our love will shine, 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 la la la. I stood my ground, defending my side. Usually I just take it, run away and hide. But I know that we're stronger than what we said last night. You said things you didn't mean, so did I, so let's just rewind. Sha la la la, we'll bring us together. Sha la la la, we'll make it all better, even in the dark times. Our love will shine, 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 la la la. Shine, la la la. Well, even when you don't wanna be, you gotta be stronger than a low blow. Taking the high road, walking that tightrope isn't how I wanna keep going. I'm knowing it's going nowhere and showing the stones that we keep on throwing. I gotta keep us from going, stepping and shining, flowing, living below and not growing. It's slowing us down, cause this is not how we ever used to be. So let's fix it now, let's forgive and forget. Not hold on to regret, yeah, I know what we said, but it's a bunch of bullshit. We can't let it get to us, cause we've been through way too much. You know we ain't giving up, cause we got love. Sha la la la. We'll bring us together, sha la la la. We'll make it all better, even in the dark times. Our love will shine, 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 la la la, shine, la la la. We'll bring us together, sha la la la. We'll make it all better, even in the dark times. Our love will shine, 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 la la la. Shine, la la la. Shine, la la la.
And we're back.
Just like that.
So what can you tell us about that song?
Sha La La Love. So it was co-written with a gentleman by the name of Tolan Shaw, who is from
San Diego.
You got
It was
it.
somewhere else. It was like Michigan. And we're like,
Yeah.
okay.
No, you guys nailed that one. Good job. I flew back to when I go back home 1 or 2 times a year, and in 2019, I was in the San Diego singer-songwriter competition at the county fair, and I won first place. And one of the judges, oh, here we go. Here we go. Everybody wait for Ryan. Pause for applause.
I don't like your attitude about the buttons. You're the blue girl, okay? Buttons are fun. You should
fun.
love buttons.
You should wear blue more
I don't have
often.
anything against blue, but I'm just like blue and buttons.
Right,
You know
didn't
what I
wear
mean?
Any blue. You
Blue
knew she
buttons.
was coming on the show. You didn't wear any
Did
blue.
you hear earlier? She's attracted to people who wear blue. I'm in a relationship. I can't be risking shit wearing blue.
I mean, that's true. That is true.
Fair enough.
What? So
Tolan Shaw.
Tolan Shaw.
You
So-
won a competition.
So I won the first
fair.
place, the San Diego County Fair. Yeah, and one of the judges was one of Jason Mraz's co-writers. And
that's cool.
this person,
San Diego native.
this gentleman writes with Tolan. And so when he knew or heard that I was living in Nashville, he's like, I want to introduce you to my friend Tolan Shaw, who's moving to Nashville. Tolan and I met within like 3 months. My very first like Christmas song I first started writing was with Tolan, and we've co-written ever since. Anyway, so Tolan's become one of my main co-writers. He and I wrote the song together. The night before the song was written, I almost canceled on him. If you know me at all, you know that I do not cancel. I don't care if I'm half dead. Like I follow through.
I'm on the same page as you.
Yes, I know. I love that about you.
Yeah.
I love that. And the night before, my brother and I had gotten into the biggest fight of our relationship. And I was up all night, bawling my eyes out. And I was y'all can't see me unless you're watching, but I was super close to canceling on Tolan. I'm like, you know what? Tolan has such a great vibe about him. And usually when this kind of like distraught emotion is happening, really great songs can come from that. So 3 minutes before he knocks on the door, I started writing the pre-chorus riff, and he came in and we wrote this song and turned the negative thing that had happened into a positive song, which is what you hear. And so the meaning of it is really important to me. But when you hear the recording, like the actual download recording, it's like surf rock meets pop meets country meets rap.
It's like house rock.
Which is
Yeah.
so many genres.
That's all the genres.
It was fun. Or no, maybe surf rock. No, sorry. I take that back. Surf rock is in Choosing Boys. I totally take back the surf rock part. It's just like pop country rap.
Pop country rap.
Pop country rap.
Yeah.
I mean, that works. I mean, I've heard songs that are pop country rap-ish.
Yeah, right?
Before, right? It totally,
Yeah.
those all blend together. It works.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how that song was born and almost not born.
Wow.
Man, that's crazy. It's interesting to think, like, I mean, life is always those things, right? It's things that wouldn't have happened if you didn't do whatever.
Right.
Now, I'm a person who likes to do less things.
Okay. Because you're a banana. Bananas just like hang out in their hammocks all day.
Exactly.
Yeah. Banana hammocks.
What's weird is like I'm aware that is almost like that's a part of life. Is you don't do things, you miss things.
Mm-hmm.
But at a certain point in my life, I realized I don't care. I'm fine missing things.
Really?
Like it's dope to just like chill.
It's dope to miss stuff.
I
Kids, if you're listening, go to school. Don't sleep in.
No, you should go to school. Yeah, I'm a proponent of school. To be clear, for all the kids who watch our
Let's
show.
like fine print this.
Yeah. Also, if you're a kid watching the show, stop. We're not making this for you. We're going to say some things that aren't for kids.
Yeah. But also, like, it's 2023. Live your best life. I don't know. Don't listen to your parents. I mean, listen to your parents. I don't know where we're going with this anymore. But no, I don't know.
Speaking of parents, okay, so
Great segue.
I'm like, ooh, content. No, so I wanted to ask you about your dad. So I don't know. We haven't talked in person, but I saw on the internet that your dad was in the hospital and it was really serious. And can you tell us the story? What happened? Where were you when you got the news? What happened for the people?
I was home when my brother called and I didn't answer because I was doing my live stream. I usually do a live stream on Tuesday nights.
Where can people watch that?
They can watch it on stageit.com/Alyssa_Jacey. If you want to pull up my page, Wes, stageit.com/Alyssa_Jacey. That would be lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I was like, oh, my brother's calling me. And so continue stream. And then I checked my phone, of course, after the stream was done. And he's like, hey, call me as soon as possible. It's kind of important. I'm like, okay. So I called and he's like, don't freak out. And that's never the
Right.
first words
Immediately
out of,
you're freaking out.
yes. But dad is in the hospital. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, he got some sort of flesh-eating virus.
Which, that's not what you go to immediately. When somebody says dad's in the hospital, you go, heart attack.
Yeah, did he
stroke.
fall and break his hip
Did
or
he
something
fall?
like? Yeah,
Was he injured? Car accident.
right.
You don't immediately go to flesh-eating virus.
Right.
In fact, you go to the opposite.
Yeah.
When somebody says to you, I don't know, what if you had like a flesh-eating virus or something? You go, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's not
That's
that.
not even barely real. Like,
yeah. Who even would ever get that? But my dad, who is 80, he already has a really low immune system, and for someone like him, if he got COVID, for example,
be a problem.
be a major problem. Even a small cold could turn into something that would lay him out and possibly.
But I feel like you could have like a healthy young man in his prime. You could have a Matthew McConaughey could get a flesh-eating virus and be done.
It's
Yeah.
never good news.
Yeah.
Well, what we learned through this process of my dad getting, it happened all within a few hours. So he wakes up in the morning and he has a pain in his ankle, and within like a couple 2-3 hours the pain starts to crawl up his leg, and luckily, by the grace of everybody, lands a plane he's in Haley, Idaho at this time. His girlfriend lands and he goes to pick her up, and he already had called 911 because he knows something's wrong. Like something's really, really wrong. His system is starting to do crazy stuff, and he's like, you need to take me to the hospital
But he
now.
still went to go pick her up.
He still went to go pick
That's
her up.
commitment. I would have canceled that for sure.
Right.
I would
Like,
have been like, you can call Uber.
But you would have, to be fair, you would have canceled it and then just played video games and died. So
True.
jury. God. But so she drove him to the hospital, and the doctor who saw him in the Haley, Idaho hospital had to make the decision that we don't have the team here or the medical whatever apparati to work on your father, and he's probably going to die if he doesn't get the medical help he needs. So we need to airlift him to Boise, Idaho, and he would have died in the ambulance if they drove him there. So they helicopter airlifted him, and immediately he was in a coma, like breathing tube down his throat, like 30 different needles and things all throughout his body, and his body had gone into septic shock. So we had Googled, from what the doctor said, the combination of Clostridium, which is the flesh-eating bacteria, and septic shock. Anyone who gets the combination of those two has a nearly 100% fatality rate.
Oh my gosh.
And my brother had called me later on that night again, and he goes, I'm going to Idaho tomorrow. The doctors just told Dad's girlfriend, who told me that he might not make it to the morning. So I'm in Nashville online. Look, it's like 10-something p.m. There's no flight I can get out of Nashville.
Right.
And I'm looking on every single airline there is. There's no way I can get out of Nashville until 5 p.m. the next day.
Oh God.
wow.
Can you imagine getting that kind of news and having to sit there? Like I almost started driving.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I mean, what is that, like 1,500 miles?
Yeah.
A lot.
It would take you 2 days to drive it. So at that point, you might as well fly.
And
But
you're probably
I would
not in
feel
like
that
the
way, too.
emotional state to drive safely 1,500 miles by yourself.
Probably not. No,
Yeah.
that's an excellent point. And so then they put me on it. So there's no direct flights like anymore at all. I can't find. So I get to Denver and I have a 4-hour layover. So I don't even get into Idaho. I don't get to Boise until 2 a.m. So I don't even get to see my dad until Thursday, essentially. And he's just the happy ending is, as each day progresses, there's one or two things that the doctors and the nurses say, like, oh, there's some good news here. He's doing this. But then they might say, oh, we were hoping that his vitals would be like this, and they're not. So it was for the first 72 hours of me being there, very, very back and forth and scary as shit. And then as the 5th day approached, little by little, he started opening his eyes. He started being able to nod his head, and he freaking beat it. Like, my dad is not only without a breathing tube now, and he doesn't have anything in his veins. He can wheelchair himself around. He's starting to kind of walk with a walker. I have phone calls with him. My dad is very much becoming healthier, and he is alive. He beat this combination of an almost 100% fatality rate.
At 80.
At 80. So you want to talk about, are there miracles in this world? Absolutely yes. Do I believe in miracles? 100%.
That's pretty wild. Because like, I mean, at 80, like anything, You get anything, and they're like, your chances are low.
Yeah.
This is not just anything. It's flesh-eating bacteria.
So how does he get that? Like, was he in the deep, dark jungles of Africa?
I mean, kind of. Yeah. He was in the Caribbean, but we don't think that's where it came from because it had been like 2 or 3 weeks and he'd been home. So we think that maybe he had cut his foot, and maybe he from his loafers that he wear, like these loafers that he will not give up from the early 1800s. Maybe like recut a slit in his body, and somehow this, I don't know, we're all guessing. Like the doctors have not given us an actual specific, like this is exactly how he got it. But it comes in through like maybe a cut or something in your body, and it just kind of latched on to his right leg, and it looked like a shark had taken a chomp out of his calf. So like part of his leg has been missing.
Oh my gosh.
So he's had to have like all kinds of reconstructive surgery, and I mean he went through how many surgeries? 7 surgeries in 5 days, or 5 surgeries in 7 days, something like that. Like a crazy amount.
It's more than I've done my entire life.
Oh my gosh! Right?
Yeah.
It's incredible, wow. and he has. I'm just blown away. I'm so I could not be more thankful for life in general. And I have a very Ryan knows me really well. I have a very positive attitude about damn near everything, and I've kind of believed in miracles, but I absolutely could not believe in miracles more than I do now.
Man.
No, it's incredible.
So wild. Though they're terrifying to think that we have that here. Like in my mind, he definitely got that overseas, but we have that here?
It's from what they said, it kind of is floating around everywhere, but typically like the average immune system's fighting like strong enough to kind of fight it off, so it's not really anything to worry about.
Sure. I'm definitely not worried now.
Don't worry about just look it up. Look up Clostridium and septic shock and the combination of the two. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're fine. Oh. You're fine.
Yeah, so
50-50.
Don't get into any knife fights.
Dang it.
Yeah. So I was just thinking, like, thank God, like, the pandemic we all had was COVID and not flesh-eating bacteria. Could you imagine if that had been the pandemic? Like, because COVID, it was like after a while, you're
COVID
like,
is pretty bad. To be fair,
it's no flesh-eating bacteria.
True.
If we had an outbreak of flesh-eating bacteria, I'm just like, it's done. It's
like we lost.
We're over.
Yeah, we lost. For sure.
Game over mankind.
No, I bet you if we had a pandemic of fleshy, it should be an epidemic at that point, I think is the definition. Fleshy bacteria would probably have taken it a lot more seriously, and people would have probably listened a little better.
Yeah, well, let's not wish that upon anything.
Let's dive into politics. Alyssa, Jacey, what do you think about the government?
Whatever. But
we must rebuild.
Now, earlier you had mentioned a deep, deep hatred that you have.
Oh God,
which
I ever?
Which is weird.
Do I ever?
Weird because you don't come off to me as someone who's got the deep, deep hatreds.
I have it for two things.
Okay. One of them is is a color.
Yeah, one of them is a color.
Which you gotta admit, it's a little bit strange to have a deep-seated hatred for a color.
Purple.
Have you seen that movie? It's a great movie.
You could have pressed the purple button. It's right there, but you pressed the green one.
Yeah, but that purple button would make an X-Files sound. For the people listening, We Got the Spirit was more interesting.
True.
I hate that you know what all of them are.
He moves them around all the time, too.
I can read them.
Yeah, they're literally right there on the screen.
Well, stop reading.
You should try clicking one. Stop hating buttons and just press. It's more fun that you don't know.
Titty sprinkles.
See how good that was? Everybody laughed. Everyone loved that.
There's very few buttons could make them better than that.
Please tell me that if you're under 18, you have shut this off by now.
Well, I can't tell you. They've already shut it off.
I turned it off.
They got permission from their parents.
That's what I needed. I just needed the voice.
Okay, so you hate the color purple.
Why?
Okay.
And you're the only one.
The color of royalty.
Well, let's first of all, who on earth prefers grape Dimetapp, for example? Like, who likes the flavor of purple gum?
I didn't know there were other flavors of Dimetapp, but grape.
I've never heard of Dimetapp.
You never heard? Oh, you didn't grow up. You didn't grow up poor enough. I lived on Dimetapp. Are you kidding me? Every time I got any kind of sickness at all, that was apparently the cure. It's really just for colds and flu or whatever, but we just drink that shit all the time.
But does it even work, though?
No, it doesn't do anything. It's just grape juice that tastes weird. Yeah.
Thank you. Amen. Okay, disgusting. Everyone is about to puke. I understand.
I've had grape medicine before. I don't think I've had the brand Dimetapp.
And let me ask you a question, Ryan. Would you prefer cherry or grape? That's not a hard
You
question.
mean in medicine form?
No.
Where it's disgusting but just slightly tastes cherry or slightly tastes grape? Or just in general?
What's the first thing that speaks to your soul?
Grape.
See, I don't. Not
I'll
no,
go
not
grape.
me. No, I'm with you on the cherries. Cherry's better than grape for sure in almost everything.
Do you see my body
except
language? I'm very upset.
for the raw fruit itself. If I'm eating the raw fruit, I would rather eat a grape than a cherry. Because cherry's got a big old thing in the middle.
Cherry's all like hard, firm. It tastes.
But
it's very like
flavor-wise?
it's got some bitterness to it.
I'll drink a cherry
Maybe
soda over a
women
grape
like
soda.
that.
Oh, now if we're talking about a maraschino cherry, different story. I would take a maraschino cherry every day.
Okay. I started this fight.
You blame no one but yourself? No.
But it's okay. It all started when I came out with the whole like bring the crew and wear your blue, and someone's like, "Oh, I'll just wear purple. It's close enough to blue."
And you're like,
That's exactly what I
That
did.
person is no longer a fan.
That is not, and I'm no longer a fan of that person. So I'm like, no, blue is blue. Like, bring the crew and wear your purple. That doesn't rhyme.
Yeah.
Bring the crew and wear your blue. So ever since then, it truly is just a joke. I like to make people think that I have a deep-seated hatred for the color. I don't. But it's fun for me to make people think that I'm like, I hate purple. So it's,
All right.
yeah.
I'm into it. I like a good bit.
Yeah, it's fun.
bring your purple and wear your purple.
Now that doesn't work at all.
Yeah. Nothing really rhymes with purple.
Yeah.
Nurple?
In a land far away, there lived a color.
And it was blue. Like the sky, like the ocean.
You know, I do got to say, though, especially now knowing that it's not
Oh, Jerry,
you don't
look
actually
at
have a deep-seated
look at this
hatred.
board really quick. There is a very dangerous blue button.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm aware. No, yeah, I'm immediately aware, Ryan. It's my favorite button.
Let's also look at
I
the
love
buttons.
that it's blue right now.
How many buttons look blue versus how many look purple?
I would say 2 to 3 buttons look blue.
Thank you. Always
2
winning.
to 3. 2
Carry
to 3.
on. What else do you want to? What else do you want to debate?
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's the thing. Another serious thing. Serious thing 2 or 3.
Wow.
I don't know. We're on season 2.
Alzheimer's, flesh-eating bacteria,
God.
and then thing 3. So a few years ago, we were talking. I was mixing one of your songs, and you said that the way I remember it and
Get
the
it
way you
right,
said it is
Ryan.
different.
Get it right,
How I
Ryan.
remember it is, this is my last year in music. But you corrected me. It's a little different than that.
The good news is I have proof because there is a video where
Yeah.
I specifically say, and thank you for asking this. I did say I was getting pressure from outside sources that you need to figure out your life, and is music really it? And I was starting to kind of get down
Cool.
on
Always love those sources.
right. Yeah.
So encouraging.
I've never had those before, but I could imagine.
And after, I have this thing, as I think a lot of artists do, where you maybe start to let those words affect you, and whether they're positive or negative, they affect you, or maybe just being human. So what I said, Ryan, was I'm going to record this new album, and if it doesn't do what I'm hoping it does, then I'm going to take my career and make it more of a backseat kind of hobby versus my actual career and my passion,
thing,
my
yeah.
main thing. If it does what I hope it's going to do, you're going to see a lot more of me.
Yeah. So you were were you kind of in a place where you were like reconsidering life? Like every time birthdays naturally do that. I had a birthday this year. It tends to be
did?
You did?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I didn't.
That's really
Yeah,
weird.
you didn't come, literally.
That's true. I did not go to your birthday this year.
Birthdays that end in 5s or 0s tend to make us go like, oh shit, I'm at a new thing. And so like I've had that all this year because I hit a 5 this year. And so I've been
55.
Yeah, 55. Yeah.
and I feel like those 5s and 0s, man, you're kind of like, God damn it, what am I doing with myself? Because I'm at this new thing. And so is it that kind of thing where you felt like, okay, I'm at a new stage in life, you're hearing stuff from outside voices, and you're just wondering like, okay, I've been pursuing this music thing for a certain period of time. I know I've had a thing, like, I think for many years before I entered music, and, especially in the beginning, I would think, like, I would have certain goals for myself. and I would go, maybe if I just got to do this, that would be enough. Because early on, there's no guarantees that it's ever going to work for you. But you're like, maybe if I just got to make a living doing music, that would be enough. And yeah, I have these higher goals, but I can't predict that those will really work out. But like as time goes on, I look back and I go like, all right, did I do it? Maybe I could be done, switch to something that's more secure, and then just be like, but I did this, I did this, I did this, I did that. And then I could tell my kids, I tried, I worked hard, I did my thing. You know what I mean?
Yes, but no, that's not possible for artists because we can't just, like, if it's in us, it's in us. And I was being told kind of the opposite. I don't know, I was being steered by people I shouldn't have been, goodness. So I am an artist, and I'm so proud to say, like, I'm so happy that I can be on this podcast with you guys and talk about this and stand on stage today, this year, and say that was that went against my gut to say something like that and to act like that.
Interesting.
It felt wrong to say that I was going to maybe pursue going back to the workforce, which I have not been in over 11 years. And when I recorded this album, and each time I perform these new songs live and the kind of reaction I was getting, and as each single, you look like you want to laugh your ass off right now.
Yeah.
Why?
Because when you said go back to the workforce, what my mind immediately like
Spaceballs
pictured you in the workforce is like an old-timey telephone operator with, that switchboard. Like you're just like beep, 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 and you're like connecting people on phones. Like when
I'm
you
the
say
marvelous
the
Mrs.
back into the
Maisel.
workforce, that's what I see.
Yes. I am Mrs. Maisel.
Yes, Miss Maisel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dude, I love the marvelous Miss Maisel.
Last season is out now or coming out? It's out now.
It's
and
out now?
I watched it. Do you want to cancel
I
our
gotta
show?
go watch
Yeah.
it. Yeah. This show is done. I'm going to watch the marvelous Miss Maisel.
Now I'm working on the last season of Better Call Saul right now, and then I'll go
Nice.
there.
I'm sad this is the last season because it is such a perfect show.
It's epic. I love it too.
Perfect. Anyway, so back to the workforce. So you felt like that was disingenuous, or not disingenuous, but like when you were saying that it didn't feel right or didn't go with your gut, but you were kind of...
It was like I was lying straight to myself.
Wow.
It was...
Did you realize that in the moment?
I absolutely did. Yeah. I was like, this does not feel right. But because I'm being so strongly nudged, for lack of better words, to rethink my path, I was like, well, maybe, I don't know. I guess I should think about something else. And my gut the whole time was like, this is so wrong.
Now, are you still in relationship with the humans that were saying that to you, or are they not a part of your life anymore?
For better, for worse, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you figured out, but it was good. You figured out how to like continue being in a relationship with a person who had a different opinion.
Two of them.
Or people's that had a different opinion than you on your path.
Yeah.
And you somehow figured out how to pursue your path anyway.
Yes, I think it was because I proved myself. Like they have been, without saying who they are, let's just say they've been around since the beginning of my career, and they've been pretty big. I don't want to say fans, but just like
Supporters.
Yeah. Siegfried and Roy. Is it Siegfried and Roy?
It's actually both of them. Yeah.
Gosh darn it.
Good job. What the hell is even that?
Damn tiger jerk
By the way,
jockeys.
that's from Part-Time Pigeons, isn't it? What the hell is even that?
I don't know.
I don't actually know.
I said I was like, I love that bit from that show, and I'm like, when I was utilizing the facilities, I'm like, that's not a show. That's what the hell is even that came from Part-Time Pigeons, which is, if you're not following Part-Time Pigeons on Instagram, you will spend all day watching Part-Time Pigeons. So, air 5 to you.
Hold on. You can't just say the words part-time pigeons and let that shit go.
Hook it up, Wes. Part-Time Pigeons, I love you. Like, you are hysterical.
Why not full-time pigeons?
They
Yeah, other stuff going on?
I don't know how to answer that.
It'd be weird if you did, actually.
Some people,
You're like,
some people in your life who are like supporters.
Yes.
And
Thank you. And I hold them in the highest esteem.
Yeah.
Like they're on pedestals to me. And so it's,
I mean, they were probably being genuine at the time. That they were trying to be helpful. They probably thought they were, it just wasn't for you.
yes. And yeah. And I'm like, I need to prove to myself also at this point. I just feel like things are changing. I could feel this is such a strange, this past year has been, a year and a half has been a very strange, but also beautiful and magical kind of transition for me as a person and as an artist. The songs I've been writing and the shows I've been performing and all the therapy I've been through. I feel like I look at life in a completely through a different lens. I look at myself differently. My friendships have changed for the better. My relationships with my family have changed for the better. So I think that showed maybe in my music and in my shows and stuff, and maybe I proved a different side of my career to these people, and maybe that changed their perspective because now all I get is all the love and all the support. It's pretty amazing.
Wow. Do you feel the specific people who were
Yes.
telling you have like switched their
Yes.
tune?
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so rare in life.
Like to the point where I've never heard them talk about me and my music and my career the way they have now. It's amazing.
That's pretty awesome.
Like it makes me like when we talked about it, like I've cried because oh my gosh, I've never heard you say this kind of stuff. So
That's great. Now, you've mentioned this last year. You've had a lot going on this last year. What does that mean?
let's just say that when artists put their blood, sweat, and tears into their craft, as y'all know, and sometimes you wish it would happen faster than it does, and sometimes it takes a decade or longer for things to kind of snowball. And I can't, there's certain things that I can't really talk about, but I can say that there's a snowball happening. A really happy, pretty little, like more than a snowflake, but not a huge, like mountain crushing snowball happening. And I'm very
Alyssa
happy.
Jacey, more than a snowball.
But less than an avalanche. Let's be clear. We have the range. We have the range.
Yeah, it's not the beginning like snowflakes of a. Anyway, yes.
Okay. All right. So we should expect to see a lot of things coming in the future.
Yeah, if you've been following me, you've already seen. If you're an active follower of me on my social media, you have already seen lots of stuff change. Most specifically in these last 5. Actually, now it's May, so 5 months. But you've seen a lot change from last year to now, and
But not the color scheme.
that will never
Never the color scheme.
ever.
Real quick, would you mind passing me a drink, please?
Do you want a purple one, Ryan?
No. Blue. Or if there's no blue, any color's fine because I'm not
Actually, can you
color
grab one for me too?
focused. That's
Who
cool.
wants a red one?
That's him.
Okay.
These are the spices.
What about
No.
Is
And
this
yeah, I don't care.
black brown?
Grapefruit.
It's all good.
Thank you so much.
Like, let's not a purple. No.
Okay.
Oh my God! Get out!
I have a.
Get out!
Okay.
That's the door.
Okay, I want to ask you a question, but it's about like sensitive things. So like,
I feel like this
feel free to
whole
answer it.
conversation has been like
That's the
deep,
best.
dark.
It's the best stuff. It's the best stuff. So I'm a big proponent of therapy, and
Here we fucking go. He loves to bring this shit up every week.
Jerry hates therapy.
I do not hate therapy. I have nothing against therapy. I just of the opinion that not every human needs therapy all the time.
And I'm in the opinion that not every human needs to wear purple ever.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So
So-
maybe that's why you need therapy. But
You brought up that's fine. So you brought up that the therapy has given you kind of like as one of the things
Massive
that
perspective.
has helped to give you a new lens on life. And I think so. You don't need to like go into specifics of your therapy because I do therapy. It's very personal. Like I'm not gonna like share like here's what happened this week or anything like that. But I do think it's really unique. I'm encouraged maybe just even hearing you're like I have a new perspective on life. Like I don't think it's very rare for like full-grown adults like us to come to a like, oh, I have a new perspective, a new lens I view everything with. Like we're sort of like set in our lenses after a certain age, and it's kind of rare to like change that up. And then how much better is it when it's like a better lens where you're like, okay, life is better. It's sort of rare. And so I'm just curious how much therapy has been a part of that for you, and like what do you think about that? And like what have been some of maybe a good question would be like, what are some of the things that have changed about your lens, and how are you viewing the world now that is just better for you than you used to view it?
I am never one to hold anything back. If you've ever been to one of my shows or you know me in real life, I have no problem telling the absolute truth. And some of these people that I might have mentioned earlier have been a proponent of, hey, maybe you don't tell the actual story. Like, for example, the story about my brother and I getting into a fight. The example they might say would be, how come you have to say it's about your brother and you getting into a fight? How come you can't just say, I wrote this song with so-and-so and this is what it, whatever. It was a negative thing and it turned into a positive thing. How come you have to be so specific? So I don't mind talking specifics. I am thankful that I started therapy. I guess I'm going to be kind of the opposite of what I just said and be,
Sure.
and I won't say why I started therapy for the real reason.
Yeah.
But I'm so thankful that I did because
It's probably not about that anymore.
now it's about just becoming a better person, a better daughter, sister, friend, and just a human being. And she helped this magnificent, oh my God, my life is so different because she has helped me put a mirror in my face. And for the things that I used to say and do about myself and to other people, I feel like I've always been a really good person. I feel like I have, for the most part, people like me. But have I burned bridges? Yes. Have I said things that I regret? Yes. Have I acted out in anger? Yes. And now I can control my anger. Now I can look at things and have a lot more patience than I used to. I can say I love myself. Never been able to say that before. And I can truly say, like, I believe in myself as an artist. I haven't been able to do that either.
That's a lot different.
I just kick back and let life do its thing. And I'm like, thank you for everything. Even if it hurts me, I'm like, thank you. Because I know that there's some reason for whatever's happening. If I just give it some time, I'm just cool with it for the most part. I'm not, cool as a cucumber 24/7. Of course, I have my little moments, but
it's just
I'm
being
still human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I noticed some of that when I came and saw your live show at the, what was it called?
City Winery.
City Winery. Yeah.
Which I'm back on May 30th, y'all. May 30th.
May 30th, City Winery.
City Winery. Door 6. Show 7:30.
I could tell that it was at a different Alyssa Jacey than I've seen in the past. And if I had to put my finger on the one thing that felt different, it felt like, because I think a lot of the specifics are probably the same, what songs are playing or different things like that. But I think the biggest difference is it felt less, and this is something I've been working on in my own artistry, like a mind shift change I'm trying to make. It's not about me up here on stage. I think I used to be okay, I need to sing good, play the notes correctly, move around in a way that's entertaining, say things that don't sound dumb, but then introduce the songs well. So I'm thinking a lot about me. I'm like, okay, all eyes are on me right now, so I need to perform in a way that everybody's going to like.
Bo Burnham has a song about that.
Yeah. All eyes on me, all eyes on me. And so,
those guys who don't know.
But the shift I've made enough of a shift to go to intellectually know the difference, and I'm working on bringing it into fruition because it's sort of hard to it's hard to do. But the shift I'm making as a performer is it's not about me up here. Nobody is here to I want to look at you. They're not here to come and judge me and go, you're good or not good. They're here to be entertained and have an enjoyable night. So the focus needs to come from internally from me. Yes, I'm a performer and I have something to, entertain you with. I'm here to entertain you and give you a good night. And it's coming from me to you. I'm giving to you something entertaining. And I heard something interesting recently from somebody that the audience wants you to succeed. They don't, when you're feeling nervous, are they going to catch me fucking up? It's no, the audience wants you to succeed because if you succeed, then they have a great night. They're wanting you to be confident and enjoy it and have fun and take them on a journey. They're not sitting back wondering if you're hitting perfect pitch or you're doing this or that or the other thing. They want you to be good because they want to have a good night.
That girl sang the national anthem and forgot the words. You seen this clip? There's a bunch of examples of things like this, but it was this girl, she went to go sing the national anthem, a big game, whatever, and froze.
Oh, what's after that?
Yeah. and the whole stadium started singing with her and they were encouraging, it was a whole thing and it was this magical moment and everyone was crying and because they're not, they're look at that, look at that bitch. That's not, people I think deep down aren't like that. Some people are. But for the most part, people aren't like that and they don't want that.
Yeah.
And if that's the vision that you hold of people, you are going to change the way that you are to accommodate, and that's not real.
What's interesting is, so you said people are not there to judge you or whatever, and you had asked me a question about what are some of these changes that have been going on, and there were two people in that room that were there to judge me because of there's a team that I'm starting to build currently, And in that room were two people that were sent there by this upper echelon person. And
they're there to judge you, to hopefully
Professionally judge
help
you.
you.
professionally
Not
judge.
personally
Yes.
judge you.
They're like, is this a person we want to join alongside?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't to make it really, hopefully, I mean this in a genuine place. I don't want to sound arrogant or anything, but they gave me the most, like the sweetest compliment, which was, I wouldn't change anything about your show.
Nice.
And I thought that was so strange for me because I'm like, I would have changed. Like, I feel like I was pitchy on this one. And I feel like I could have been funnier at that joke. And I'm like, man, I don't know about how this show went, but it's after the show. And they said, the only two things they said for me to change was don't ever say your age on stage anymore. And don't say how long you've been in Nashville. But outside of that,
Really?
they're like, your set list was like, and I feel like I'm awful at set lists. I never make set lists. I hate them. I hate that word, hate. Sorry. I despise making set lists. I like to just go off the cuff. I don't like to repeat the same thing at shows unless it's about Blue and Alzheimer's. So
If I had to guess age and length of time in Nashville, I feel like the only reason you wouldn't want to share that, in like for anybody, myself included, is that somebody might look at it and go like, oh, well, if you haven't made it by
that's
now.
exactly their point.
Yeah.
Really?
Then that must mean you're not going somewhere.
Yeah. But also, like, you don't, like, include anybody by saying that. You can only potentially exclude.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if somebody is like, oh, I kind of like this person, and they find out you're, whatever, 20 years younger than them or 10 years older than them or whatever, like, maybe they're less interested. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass, but.
No.
Yeah.
But that's true, Ryan. That's exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if Wes, if we can throw up the screen, the City Winery screen for when does this podcast come out?
Unsure.
Hard to say. I've gotta do the
Before May
math.
30th, hopefully. City Winery, Alyssa, Jacey, May 30th.
Honestly, probably not.
Well,
It was a great show.
Yeah, I don't know how the math works out. We're like a few backlogged.
We're a few weeks back.
So we'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
AlyssaJC.com has it all then.
True.
But it was just, yeah. It was so. You said perspective, and you saw something that night.
Well, yeah, that night I felt a difference, and I talked to you about it, and I'm also like, I don't know how much is just me because I haven't gone to one of your shows before just as an observer, just to like enjoy the show. Like I've always been there to like film something or be a part of it in some way, and so that might have been part of it. Or not. Maybe it's just the change to you. But to me, what I saw was that it felt like you had moved in the time, and I hadn't seen you for at least a year or two live. It seemed like you had moved more towards somebody who was like not on stage needing to get affirmation from the audience. Like you weren't there to be like, hi guys, look at me, look at my show. It was a lot more like you were confident in what you were doing and you were entertaining us. And so I sat in the audience and was able to like enjoy the stories and be entertained, even if I already knew them, because I felt that thing. And that was to me, like if I'm making up a story about why that is, to me, one of the reasons is probably some of the things you've been through the last few years and going through therapy and all the other things. It seems like maybe by holding up a mirror to your life, you know, this person that's helped you with that you have more internal confidence in who you are to be able to get up on stage and not have to be the kind of person that's like spinning plates so that people will just pay attention. But instead you can be like, take my time to bring somebody along on an entertaining evening. Well,
so I know you mean all that as a massive compliment, and I'm going to say thank you. But for those of you who don't know, I don't believe I am the person that gets on stage that tries to be like, look at me, here's my spinning plate kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there's like a calmness about me now, and there is a confidence about me now, whereas before, not that you would ever know that I was nervous necessarily, but there is just such a massive difference, and maybe there's just a different way of wording it.
Yeah.
But
I don't even understand what it is. It's something that I'm working on myself, where I'm just like, we went out on tour with Dawson Hollow, which is one of the artists I work with, and I experienced it firsthand, where I'm just like, he's not like, you know, this is not meant disparagingly at all, but the stories like Ben tells before their songs are the same stories he tells every night. Like he has a pre-planned way he says it.
Oh, I don't.
Like, what? Right, which is like, I'll probably never be that way, but also at the same time, every show they did, they like convert people who have never heard them before into like massive fans, and people are dancing, having fun by the end of the night. And I think you can do that by making it up on the spot or by having it planned or whatever. But what I just watched is I'm like, even though you're like, I know what your show is, I've seen your show, but I can feel there is something different about how you guys are performing for the people than how I do it. And I really think, at least for me, that it's like okay, guys, we're working, our band needs to look so good and feel so good so that the people like the music. Mm-hmm. And there's a different thing when you're just like, oh no, they're, we're good enough, we're going to get here and entertain them. I don't know what, like, I feel like it's a subtle internal shift. And I don't know that I'm not saying you were ever like the other way, but I can definitely say that in this last show I experienced you in, that you were definitely more like Dawson Hollow in terms of somebody who...
And less like Ryan Poole. And that's really what's important in life.
I very much appreciate that. And I guess if there's any... Not that you're asking for advice, but like you're so rad as your own, just as you, Ryan, and
all
just
right, you're okay. You're okay.
You heard it from Alyssa, Jacey. Here, hold on. That's a feature I don't use enough.
Turn on my mic.
That's a feature I don't use enough. But Ryan is such a likable person. It's so easy to get along with you and to work with you. So just be you, like just be yourself. And I think that's what a lot of artists, I hope, could benefit from. If you're listening and you're an artist, just be yourself. Because when you're trying to be anything else and you don't have any belief in yourself too, they're going to pick up on that. And there's no like genuine, you're disingenuine, I guess, right? And so just, if you're just you, then it'll all fall into place. I don't know. I would much rather watch Ryan on stage, like this Ryan, than like the Night Tides, I'm trying to entertain you, Ryan. Like, be you.
Yeah.
With that, can I pee?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, this is probably a perfect time to play the next song. It's been about an hour.
Okay.
So as we head out, what's the next song we're hearing?
So I just wrote this about a couple months ago. It's called Top Shelf. It is about recognizing that I have chosen a lot of bottom shelf men who I've dated in my life. And on this same exact topic of having more self-confidence, and finally, after as many years as I've been on this planet, to finally be able to say I love myself and I believe in myself, I only drink Top Shelf now. And I mean that metaphorically, and also in relationships. So here you are, Top Shelf. You caught my eye when I wasn't even looking for you, just my type. The kind that's gonna leave me wanting more. I've been waiting on something serious, but I won't fall in love now just because you caught my eye. 'Cause I'm more than just a chase to catch, slow pour, not a quick down the hatch. Been with the bottom of the barrel, but I won't go back, 'cause that's in the past. My taste has been refined, bar raised for the rest of my life. From here on out, no else allowed. I only drink Top Shelf. I used to fly, speed right past every warning and dead inside. Yeah, red flags were a damn near welcome party. They got me in something serious, but I won't fall in love now just because you caught my eye. Ooh, 'cause I'm more than just a chase to catch, slow pour, not a quick down the hatch. Been with the bottom of the barrel, and I won't go back, 'cause that's in the past. My taste has been refined, bar raised for the rest of my life. From here on out, no else allowed. I only drink Top Shelf. Top Shelf. Don't even dare try to waste my time, 'cause I only pair with vintage vibes or a 59 ride. 'Cause I'm more than just a chase to catch, slow pour, not a quick down the hatch. Been with the bottom of the barrel, and I won't go back, 'cause that's in the past. My taste has been refined, bar raised for Top shelf. Top shelf.
And we're back.
All right, so that was Top Shelf. Do you have anything you wanted to say about the
Yeah, this is
song?
a new-
I mean, you
new,
described it a
brand
little
new,
bit
right?
beforehand, but
Yeah, I'll say that I was live streaming on TikTok the first time I played it. And of course, I don't know if y'all use TikTok or not, but TikTok does an automatic recording when you're live streaming. So when you're done with your show or whatever you're recording, it saves the video. So I played this song live for the first time, and this was the first time in I don't know how long where people like to Ryan.
hey,
They
I'm
all
going
of us
through a lot
like
right now.
I know you've had a rough day, your life. All the phones went up, and like people stopped talking, and their heads turned, and like they asked me to sing it a second time during my set. It's been a while since that happened, and so it's like I was so excited to go back and watch the video, and of course TikTok is not perfect as some apps are not, and it malfunctioned, and it's like one of the times where the video didn't save. So I don't freaking have the reaction from the crowd that night, but I will just say the reason why I chose to sing it tonight, aptly so, because it fit the conversation we were having. And because it's kind of brand new and it fits my style. I really like kind of bluesy stuff, and I feel like it's kind of sort of bluesy.
Yeah, this one definitely had like a vibe to it that I dug.
Thank you. So yeah, that's why I chose it. And
Very
also,
nice.
Top shelf, y'all. Believe in yourself. Love yourself.
Yeah.
You are top shelf. You are top shelf.
And I mean, in a less metaphorical way, if you are someone who drinks the alcohols, you should get more top shelf liquor. Because, like, I used to buy cheap liquor all the time, and I still do sometimes. But I've started buying better stuff, and you know what? Makes everything way better.
Your liver's probably hugging your
Yeah,
insides.
you have less of a hangover if you drink too much, which I don't drink that much anymore. But, generally speaking, I don't know, it just tastes better. I just bought this awesome rum. It just mixes well with everything. I don't know. I don't know. I love me some good liquor.
Good for you. Good for you.
Not that that's related to the song in any way at all, because
it is kind of
but,
top shelf drinking it.
That's,
So what
that's the
is-
metaphor there.
What does Alyssa Jacey do when she's not doing music things?
True.
Or do you ever not do music things? Because I know as an artist, it's very easy for it to be all encompassing. I don't have that many things I do outside of music. I have a few. I read books. I meal prep. I hang out with my girlfriend. We watch really shitty relationship shows.
Like Love is Blind?
Like
That's
that's
the one.
exactly what we're watching right now. Kwame, bro. No, just kidding.
I
Do you
know.
Are you watching season 4?
I've seen it
You've
all,
seen it, yeah.
unfortunately. It's
Yeah, yeah.
absolute trash. And I got into it.
It's addicting.
It is addicting.
They're addicting. I will say I'm enjoying Love is Blind a lot more than Married at First Sight.
I am stopping myself. I haven't watched that show, and I'm thankful that I haven't.
Don't. Okay.
Don't.
Married at First Sight is the opposite of Love is Blind. Because Married at First Sight, it's like, get married, now see if you want to stay married. Love is Blind is like, propose and then like see if you actually say yes for the marriage.
But you have that time where you can, behind the walls, in the pods, where you get to like talk and get to know each other.
Exactly.
And fall in love for the person.
But
and
in Married at First Sight, they're like, this is who you're marrying. And I would just say Married at First Sight was a lot
There's
more
not
like
enough money in the
crack
world.
cocaine. Married at First Sight was just like, I was so fucking addicted. I burned through it. I watched like 20 hours of television in 1 week.
Oh my God.
I just had to
sounds like a normal
see
week. I don't
what
know.
happened. I just had to know, especially like the most toxic couples is like, I'm like, I gotta see this shit. But like, Love is Blind is a lot less toxic and crazy. It's still toxic and crazy,
Are you?
but it's better.
I watched like 15 minutes of Love is Blind with my wife, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not doing this.
Jerry, let's talk about when you were dating, when you weren't married, and when you were trying to. Did you
That's
watch
true.
some shit?
I didn't, but I would have.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would have. You're right.
I
I
love
would
the
have.
honesty that's going on in this room right now. What else should we talk about?
And the thing is these shows
Hold
are
on. You had like
good.
a pre-question before you got distracted, but I don't remember what it was now.
Sorry. What does Alyssa Jacey do?
Yeah. Do you have what
When
other
you're not
hobbies? Do you have any
musicking?
other hobbies or activities that you do outside of?
I paint. And
Really?
I've been selling my paintings. Actually, today, a fan from Colorado drove into Nashville, came by and picked up. He's a really good friend of other musicians, and so I trust him to know where I live. Just so you guys, I don't usually give my address out to people, but he's in town to see some shows, and he bought one of my bigger paintings that I have made. And
Nice.
on my live streams on stagey.com/Alyssa_Jacey on Tuesday nights, I talk about my paintings, and if people want to buy them, they can. So
what kind of painting do you do?
very abstract.
Okay.
It's kind of just whatever I'm thinking, feeling, and yeah, I don't know.
Are they always shades of blue?
So this particular one was mostly not,
If I
actually.
see one purple in any of those paintings,
But you will not, actually, you will never see purple. That's the one color palette I do not use.
You were like happy to sell this very unblue painting. You're like, get it out of my life.
In fact, there is oh God, we said I'm not going to talk about it. There was a person or people who had seen that painting. And they're like, please don't ever sell this painting. And I was, and I was like, I'll happily sell it now.
Nice. That's awesome. Have you been doing that for like your whole life?
Never,
or is this
no.
a newer thing?
When I was a child, I might have drawn a horse that looked almost like one, and
Sure.
then
That's pretty good.
and maybe
Almost
a
a
vase
horse.
with flowers. But that was it. And like dancing has always been my thing. I've been a dancer, choreographer. I still dance. I still choreograph. I still teach and choreograph for music videos for other artists. I do a lot of career coaching for other musicians. I teach vocal lessons. I teach basic guitar lessons. I do some
Really?
I do some improvisational comedy during my shows. Like I'll ask the audience. You were there. I'll ask the audience to yell out. Oh, this is music. Yell out 3 topics and also name a number between 0 and Ryan. Call a number between 0 and 9, and someone will be like 7 or whatever, and I'll put my capo on the 7th fret and I'll write a song on the spot.
Oh, that's cool.
Try to make it funny.
That's fun.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
I love that sound effect. I
good
just
one.
want it to keep going. Once Bob O'Reilly starts, I don't want it to stop. I'm just like,
That's all we
it
can
could just
play Bob O'Reilly before we get
Could we
copyright
do-
struck. So
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's
Could
probably
we,
true.
Could we do an episode where we talk with Bob O'Reilly behind us the whole time looping? Bum, bum, bum. And we're just like, welcome to the show, Alyssa, Jacey.
And then
Dude,
you have to
it
put
would be
the I am a
hype.
banana also in there as well. Loop that in.
So hype.
But oh my God, okay, millennial. Painting
Yeah.
started cathartically for the last couple years, really.
was it a COVID hobby?
Let's just call it a life that
Okay.
happened hobby.
Yeah. I think it's kind of cool to try a new art form. I had a phase a bunch of years ago where I like picked up, I bought at like Barnes and Noble some like watercolor pencils. You know about those?
Yeah.
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 And I like did some watercolor penciling and I actually like
Enjoyed it.
worked through some of my feelings. Like it was like way before I ever went to therapy, but I drew some pictures that I'm like, oh, this is like really symbolic for me. It was like it was special.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I can't draw for shit.
You say that now, but maybe you're an abstract person like me because I can't draw for shit either.
Hella abstract.
But like,
Abstract is what you do if you can't draw.
My stick
real
figures are
things.
hella shaky. Like I don't.
I'm sorry.
They look like they're on
You're
drugs.
from San Diego.
True.
Why?
I know. I picked up hella when I was at college at UCSD. I know it's wrong. It's a NorCal thing for those of you who are not California natives and don't have this inside of them. Mm-hmm. But yes, hella is a NorCal word, and I used to make fun of people for it. And then I went to college, and a lot of North California people, and I picked it up.
It's hella whack that you say
And
that.
I've been saying hella for years now.
My stomach is churning. I'm a little bit sick. I might. Okay.
It's kind of mid.
Do you remember that sign in San Diego?
You
or
guys
the,
are so old, you didn't even know I
painting?
was making a joke.
No, I know.
No,
you're saying
actually, I
mid.
tuned
just
you out
chose to
because you had
ignore it.
yawned 80 times during this whole
True. Do you remember in San Diego? I don't know if
Yawning's not a
this was real or not. Maybe somebody knows. I remember seeing a picture online and thinking, I wonder if that's real painting or if it's photoshopped. But it just said in big letters, keep, because you know Portland's keep Portland weird.
Oh, yeah.
It said keep San Diego weirdly into Sublime still.
That's cool.
And
like
I've
that.
always wondered if that's real or not. But I remember after seeing that for the first time, which
Definitely
wasn't
real.
until I moved here, that I saw that someone shared that with me. I started like getting really into Sublime, and I
Is
felt
there-
like I had to.
Is there a keep San Diego / California out of Nashville?
Oh God,
Is that what the new thing
That's
is?
gotta be
gotta be real.
It's definitely in Murfreesboro.
Nobody wants us here.
Keep calm and stay out of Tennessee.
Yeah. We came before it was a problem.
I
so.
know. We do owe that to ourselves.
And I like to tell people that I should have been the last one. I came and Nashville was full. Stop coming.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I don't want people to not move here. Just
Yeah.
There's
Hey,
that
there it
Wesley
is.
brought up the picture. Yeah.
keep San Diego weirdly.
See, but it
into
looks a
Sublime.
little weird. Is that real or is that like Photoshop?
I think that's Photoshop.
I think
that's
that's
like
Photoshop.
perfect text.
Right?
There's no.
That's the Portland wall?
That's
Well, now I
What?
can't.
I don't know. I don't know if it's real or not.
Huh.
I don't know what the
It
deal
needs
is.
to be if it's not. I feel like I've
It's
seen
Photoshop.
it. Yeah.
Okay. I thought it looked kind of
I think I've
fucky.
seen it in San Diego. I think it exists.
Yeah, it
I think it
exists.
exists.
Perfect
Ryan
as
saw it.
block
Yeah, it's a little too perfect.
I saw it one time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
We are coming fairly close to our time here, but
before we do,
before we do, that's my line. There is one question that we ask every guest. Now, here's the weird thing, because
Have
you've
you
been
asked
on
me
here
this
before.
before?
We have, but
Yes.
I'm assuming you don't remember, which is why this
Yeah.
will work.
I don't remember her answer, so she doesn't remember our question.
True.
Well, as long as
It's
it's
been
not related to
years.
the things that we talked about before, then we're fine.
It is not.
Is that no? Because we ask every guest.
Every single guest. It'd be weird if all of them were specific. If we asked every guest a question specifically about you, that would be a little weird. We should start that.
No, not about not. Okay, that came out wrong. All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
That is our new question to every guest.
Yeah.
What if it was like, do you like blue?
True.
I would love to hear everyone's answer to that.
But when somebody says no, they must be dead to you. Like,
I mean,
there's no coming back from that.
Look, just because you don't have any taste in anything whatsoever,
True.
doesn't mean that I can't like you. Like, if you don't want to like blue, that's fine. It's your death sentence.
You know, there's not a lot of blue foods or drinks.
Blueberries.
Drinks there is. Yeah, blueberries. But that's it.
Blue
I bought some blueberries
milkshakes.
last night.
And
To support.
blueberries, when you open them up, like if you cut the skin off, they're green inside.
What?
Yeah. Wesley, can you show me the inside of a blueberry, please?
Can you
It's like
show
the
me
Trojan
the-
horse of berries.
And when you, for the record, Alyssa just pressed the
That's
purple
right.
button. She just pressed the purple button.
My body. I feel ill.
Wow.
That blueberry is clearly
Look at
green
the
inside.
green inside. And if you smash them,
But
they're
some of them
purple.
look blue inside.
Yeah, they do. I see red a little bit on the.
I don't know what that red deal is
I don't know
there.
either.
But yeah, they're like a lot of them are like green or almost yellowish inside. Isn't that weird? Because when they don't make that color when you smash them,
And then there's one that's red.
Let's talk about the color of your blood before it hits the oxygen.
This is a myth. This is not real. Your blood is red inside your body and out.
Wesley.
To be fair, I believed exactly what you're talking about until like 6 months ago when I read on the internet that wasn't true.
Does anybody remember Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Still
Yeah.
going.
Wesley's like a lifeline.
But like 8 times.
I'd like to use my
Per
Wesley
person.
lifeline.
Yeah.
But anyways, we have a very important question to ask you.
Okay. All right.
If you had to choose,
And you do.
and you do. Now, the important thing about this question is the answer must not come from here.
And for the audio only listeners, he's pointing to his head.
It must come from here.
And for the audio only listeners, he's
Your
pointing to
throat.
his heart.
That's a,
Heart, nope.
That's
Alyssa's
jugular.
lying. Alyssa's lying. It's the heart.
Look at the video!
It's honestly the left breast.
If you had
Look
to
at the
choose.
video. Not from the left breast.
If you had to choose.
If you're going to use breast, it has to be both breasts.
If you had to choose.
And you do.
And you
I've never seen 2 men
do.
talk deeply into microphones the way that I have. Sorry.
No,
It's
that
like
actually
up
means
your
though.
nostrils. Okay, go ahead.
Coming from your head or not your head and your heart instead.
Okay.
Is I need an answer quickly.
Okay.
I don't want you to think about
Immediately.
it. I want the answer that's
No
deep
thinking.
in your soul.
Three-
The real
3.14.
answer.
That's just the first couple digits. Pi.
1598.
Oh, look at you, fancy bitch. I'm looking known 6 digits of pi.
McConaughey.
Can you do more?
Part 2.
Can you do more?
3.141598. Okay,
You know,
guessing
you're just
275.
guessing numbers. You're just guessing.
I memorized it deeply in high school.
You
Which
can't
has
be
been a long
Google.
time.
Don't Google it. It's cheating.
I'm going to Google now to see if I was right. I'm going with 3.141958.
3.1415.
You hear how he sang the letter
I'll
8?
bet I'm like
Number 8.
close.
Letter 8. Classic
But
letter
just a
8.
little off. It's been years since I've tried to do this.
Which one is it?
Okay, 3.1415.
long are you going? That's what I said, 1.5.
Oh, I was right. I think.
No, you said 19. The first one. It's 1519.
Yeah, I'm
God
kind of
damn it,
like-
Ryan. Get
I'm
your
kinda-
shit together.
Honestly.
Do you even know numbers?
3.141592. I went to 8. 65358979322384626246264384627950228.
Yeah, you're just reading it. This is not memorization. This is just the Pi podcast now.
971169.
I mean, it's on the screen. We can all see it, Ryan.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying to remember how far. I memorized it to like 25 digits in high school.
Why?
Wow.
I
You're
went through
so
a-
smart.
I went through a really hardcore nerd phase.
Oh,
I was in the academic bowl at our
one
high
would
school.
think that we're still in it. Me as well. I'm definitely still in it.
I had a phase where I was trying to be like a super smart guy and like
Didn't work out.
doing like shit,
Aw.
but
Just
doing
kidding, you're
doing
okay.
shit like memorizing pi. That was part of my plan to be like a super smart guy.
That's
You
cool.
are a
That's cool.
super
That's cool.
smart
That's cool.
guy.
If you had to choose,
And you do.
and you do, what would you say?
Hold on, wait. Let your timing be a little better. Jesus,
That's true. That's true. It's a little off. It's a little
Yeah.
weird. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. A little weird.
You got to give it more time
That's
to
true.
develop. That sound effect is going to develop to the perfect level where the answer will come right at the end.
If
So,
you had to choose,
and you do.
and you do.
What? Good
What
night,
would you
Sissa.
say is your favorite kind of turtle?
Galapagos turtle.
That's a new one, folks.
Galapagos.
But
That
not
is a
the
new
first time
one.
Jury dropped his vape thing.
That's true. I actually didn't put my vape down this week, which was really dangerous. I forgot. One week,
the shell fell
because
out.
a lot of times I do this after the question. I go, and one time I did that, and this thing flew out, and hit my guest right in the face.
Well, I have a very important statement to make.
Okay.
Alyssa Jacey does not condone Galapagos turtles in any way.
I need to like surgically change the way you preface that question because you say if you have to choose, there's
You're
not
right.
an option.
And you do.
You're right.
There's no
Yeah, it makes-
A or
yeah.
B.
Look.
Of like turtle A, turtle B.
I don't write the questions. I just ask them.
3.
That's not true. I do write that.
Okay, so no, but that was a great answer because typically people say the same thing every week, box or snapping, but usually they just say
We did
snapping.
occasional sea turtle.
Yeah, every so often somebody has a good answer. I would consider Galapagos a good answer because we don't hear
Yeah,
it all the
it
time.
is a good
It's a
answer.
unique answer, and uniqueness is what we're looking for. We do great on you.
They're the they're the ones that live to be like 200 years old, right? I mean, I'm not that I'm.
He's gonna ask me like
Yeah,
I
now I
know.
gotta ask you, like, you're a Galapagos turtle expert,
In
correct?
fact, yeah, let me pull out my doctorate in turtleology.
Yeah. Now,
Turtology.
oh, wow, that's,
That's what I normally say.
yeah. Now,
was.
why Galapagos?
Because my dad has talked about it quite frequently recently. Like over the last few years, he talked about the Galapagos Islands, and he just went there not long ago.
Okay, is that where you got the flesh eating bacteria?
We're not going to talk about that. I think I said Caribbean, and that is where he got it from. We're assuming
Not
Not
yeah,
Galapagos.
we
Nobody
don't
knows for
know.
sure. Nobody
Is
knows for
Galapagos part of the Caribbean?
I believe not.
Okay.
I don't
Let
think.
me think.
Well, I love that you had an actual
over
reason
there.
why Galapagos, because the worst answer is snapping turtle, and then we're like, why? And then they're like,
the only
because
one
it's
I
the only one I
know.
could think
It's
of.
the 8th oldest known turtle. Wait,
And it's also
The 5th
8 p.m.
oldest
the 5th
known turtle.
That's a little long.
Harriet, the giant Galapagos land turtle.
Oh, look at Harriet, the spy.
Is it a he or a she?
It's Harriet. It's a she probably.
I feel like it says her death in Australia. Okay,
She died?
175 years.
She has seen some things.
In Australia? What was even going on 175 years ago in Australia? I don't know.
Phone books and dial-up.
175 years ago?
No, that's
they
a
were
lot
way
longer.
ahead of
yeah,
the times.
that was like total digital to them. In fact, yeah, I don't know.
So your dad's been talking about the Galapagos Islands.
Yes.
And
yeah.
have you gone yet, or is he gone? Are you
I have
going as a
not
family?
gone. We're
Is it
not-
part of the world tour?
I think he's planning on going. But I really want to. We have not. I know we're at the end of the show, but can we just say something nice about my mom because we've talked a lot about my
100%.
dad, and I
Yes.
love that we talked about my dad. But I just want to say, Mom, I love you so much, and you're awesome, most inspirational mommy, and I love you, and thank you for.
She does listen to every episode. So.
She does. Doesn't
She's
she?
a huge fan.
Are either of your parents like you? Like
I
you're
am-
very like happy. Just when you talked about your mom, you're just like, "Mommy,
Mommy."
you're the best." Like, is she like you? Is that where you get it from?
She and I are very similar in that particular way.
Mm-hmm.
As I have grown older, I've noticed that I am extremely 50-50 both my parents. I am so much like
Mm.
my dad and like A, B, C, D, whatever. And there's meet my mother. She's awesome. Meet my dad and you'll see, oh, Perry and Leslie, very much Alyssa. Or Alyssa's very Perry Leslie, yeah. Whereas I see my brother and when he was younger, like 60% mom, 40% dad, or 70% mom, 30% dad. Now that he's older, definitely more like my dad, less like my mom.
I feel like that's kind of how it goes. I feel like younger boys tend to be
More like
attached to their
mothers.
mothers more than anything.
Yeah.
But then as they get older and get a little more rebellious and they want to be a man, and,
right,
and
like their
they
dad.
start becoming like their dad.
But I am
yeah.
I'm so right down the middle, I think, of both my parents. But yeah, that is still my
That's
mom.
awesome.
Yeah.
The bubbly side.
I don't think I
Yeah.
don't think I
Yeah.
like my parents at all, to be fair. So
You're not like your parents at all?
I don't think so.
Is that a good thing?
I don't know. I mean, they're all right.
Okay.
I mean,
I
some
mean,
of
they
your
both did a
mannerisms.
lot of meth.
Okay.
Yeah. Do they do blue meth?
I think that's just on TV. You can ask. You can ask at Christmas. I don't.
When you, like, some of your mannerisms are like your dad.
People do tell me I look like my dad, but I don't.
In like
I don't see it.
It's like an abstract way.
My
Maybe
brother.
I should paint him because I only
Yes.
draw abstract.
Yeah, if you painted
Here you
Jury
are.
in your abstract form, it would look spitting image of his dad.
Yeah.
Also
I
true.
do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my drawing.
But before we do get out of here, let all the peoples know where they can find you. You know, your Facebook, MySpace, Zanga, LiveJournal, home address.
All of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Should I give my social out as well?
Absolutely. Yeah. How else can we steal your identity?
Yeah.
Credit card
My
number.
credit card number. Yep. Last 4 digits.
Yeah. The three on the back. Don't forget the three on the back.
Yeah, that's
But
one.
don't worry about all your credit cards, just the best one.
The one that'll take you to Hawaii, because that's how I get to Hawaii, all the miles I rack up. Y'all can look up alyssajc.com. Are we allowed to throw up things as I say them?
Well, the screen isn't recorded, so
But it's ALYSSAJACEY, which I'm sure you guys will. You want to hear the most annoying thing in the world?
KEYMOUSC.
2 years
it.
ago, that song came into my head. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to annoy the shit out of myself for the rest of my life. ALYSSAJACEY. Not so
Yeah.
dumb. I feel so stupid. But
the
it,
thing is, I feel like most people nowadays don't even no one under the age of 25 knows what that even is.
Yeah.
I've
And that's
never
really
heard
bad.
that.
Even if you're 25 and you understand what that is, it's only because your parents told you.
True.
I'm older than 25.
What?
Yeah.
by
And I
Two
only know
fives.
that because my dad. No, 1 5.
No, five
five
plus
and a
5
0.
is 10.
Oh, okay.
You're,
I'm like, wait,
math is hard.
3.1415985. And so, but I only know about the Mickey Mouse Club because my dad, showed it to us.
okay.
Of course, I know about the original 50s one.
Yeah, me too. Black and white.
I don't know much about that Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake shit.
They were still showing that when we were kids. They were still showing that shit.
Yeah,
think.
I know about Annette. You know what I mean?
I do not.
Oh, I remember that.
Annette, that's the 1950s Mickey
What are
Mouse
you doing
Club.
watching 50s Mickey Mouse Club?
I think
Because it's cool?
Yeah, it's like in the vault. Like our dad
In the vault.
told it. That was when I was a kid. Anyway, www.ALYSSA.
Okay, if you fuck it up, no one's going to be able to
No,
find it,
no.
Ryan.
ALSSAJACEY.com.
I don't think that was right either.
That wasn't right.
Do it. I don't know the song.
ALYSSAJACEY.
Yeah, you were trying
It's a
to
lot
do two
prettier when you
L's,
do
not
it.
two S's. That was your problem.
I forgot.
Yeah, that's fair.
I was thinking about
I've only
Annette.
known Ryan for 7-8 years, and he still doesn't know how
To be
to
fair, I
spell
still know how to
you've
spell
never-
his name.
And you've never told me. You never told me the song before.
Well, I didn't know until literally, I think it was last year or 2 years ago when I
Figured that out.
Why haven't? Yeah, and now I'm embarrassed.
I
a
used to
little
have to
bit.
spell your name using phonics.
Yeah,
So.
most people do. They take out calculators and pens and ask for the lifeline for Wesley to help.
And where
So-
are you on Instantgram? and
Instantgram
TikTok.
is at Alyssa Jacey Official, and
Don't go
Twitter.
to that unofficial one.
There are people keep making fake pages.
Really?
Yes, every 3 to 4 months, I'll get certain people messaging me like, "Hey, they did it again. Hey, someone else has made a new page. Someone else made a new page. Yeah, there's some other page."
What's the benefit of that? What are they getting out of that?
I would love to know.
You know?
I mean, sometimes fake pages will ask people for money.
Oh,
I'm
That's-
in a hard time right now. Can you help me?
Interesting.
That's the first one that was made. They took a screenshot and said, "I don't think you'd be asking me questions like this." And they're like, "Hey, how are you? Like, what did you do today? Do you like my music? How do you feel about my music?" Like things like that, like really strange, like generic kind of, mechanical questions. And they're like, no, this isn't you, right? I'm like, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be asking you because who I know you so well. I'd be saying like, hey.
Some like overseas robot questions.
Yeah, it's very robotic, very mechanical. Yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, there it is. And then Twitter, Alyssa Jacey, I think. Just look up ALYSSAJACEY. And you'll find me enough places, more than you need to know. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Now we are going to go out on a song of yours.
The shark one?
Alyssa Jacey original.
I was like, the shark? Kind of.
That is why it's the other light blue button.
That's why you also said you don't sleep very well.
Not terribly.
I've had insomnia since 8th grade, which I only just recently realized it was anxiety over the last couple of years.
Oh, really?
Bad anxiety, so I don't sleep well at all at night. But for a while, like a good 15 years, I blamed it on Jaws.
I just saw that one time and just wrecked you.
It did. I had ongoing nightmares of a great white shark. And now I swim with shark. Like I will swim with Galapagos sharks. Wait, not Galapagos sharks. Are they? No.
No.
Yeah, they are.
Are
Galapagos
they?
sharks in Hawaii. Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you can, but not, I want to free swim with them. I haven't free dove with them. I've only been in a big
That sounds awesome.
plexiglass cage. Yeah. But I like welcome the sharks into my life now.
Did you ever do in San Diego up
Nope.
in like north where you could swim down and touch the sharks?
No, because I was scared as shit.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about. Those like
yeah.
leopard sharks, I think. They're like little guys and they like bottom feeders and you can swim down and touch them and you're a kid and you're like, ah!
Yeah,
I touched a
no,
shark.
that was very mid Jaws. I don't sleep.
Yeah,
Alyssa era.
gotcha.
Yeah.
That would have destroyed your psyche at the time. Like, there's no way.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, now when you want to face a fear, I encourage you all to do that because stepping into the water Hawaii didn't hurt, but being around sharks that can't get into the plexiglass and they're maybe about 6 feet and
Still scary.
there's nothing. Well, honestly, that's what I'm trying to say is it wasn't like there
Really?
was so much. There's pure blue water around and nothing else other than these slow swimming, super chill, like laid back sharks, and it definitely got me through that like next phase of okay, I'm not scared anymore. And now I feel like I could maybe even free dive with you guys.
Whoa.
And no more shark nightmares. So face your fears.
But have you seen the videos of the sharks that get through the cages?
Those are okay.
Because I've seen a couple.
That's such a rare, like that's
Rare.
like
So
taunting.
incredibly rare, I'm sure.
And there's the great white sharks in South Africa have a really like gnarly negative demeanor. Like they have a very angry demeanor versus if you're going to go meet some great white sharks, for example, go to Australia or go to Mexico. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah. South Africa sharks are dicks.
Yeah, I mean, you can get great whites even in San Diego now. I just hear it on the news like every year. They're like, great whites spotted off the San Diego coast. So I'm just like, what? Like, I don't remember that when I was young.
Yeah. No, I'm like me as well. I don't remember that
That's
either.
crazy. But apparently it's a thing.
Nashvilleians don't remember San Diegans moving to Nashville when they were
they
kids.
remember every single one, and they're mad about it.
So we like to go out on one of your Spotify songs. Do you have a request? Do you
A
want me to just
request
pick
for
one?
my own song? That's super awkward.
Or like not a request, but like an optimal one. We already did
What do you like?
Sha-La-La
Yeah.
Love.
Love Is All You Need is the closer of all my shows, and it gets everybody
Perfect.
singing back. So, and that's kind of my like vibe, my whole outlook on life is love is all you need. So that'd be great. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Well, as always, guys, thanks for coming out and hanging out with us. You guys are awesome, and we'll see y'all next time.
Love, 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 love. Love is all you need. Love, 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 love. Love is all you need. Get the most out of life. Take a breath, open your eyes, learn it, live it, pass it on. Give it back before it's gone. Celebrate who you are. Love with all of your heart. Let it go, set it free. Love is all you'll ever need. Love, 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 love. Love is all you need. Love, 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 love. Love is all. Take the chance, it's worth the risk. Regrets won't be something you'll miss. Drink the wine, ride the wave. Don't look back on yesterday. Gratitude will humble you. Practice this attitude. Be remembered for the marks you leave. Love is all you'll ever need. Love, 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 love. Love is all you need. Love, love, life, so why not make it the best it can be? We're on a timeline, it goes by, runs out eventually. I keep the love close by me, use my time wisely, never let a day go by, or I don't try to be the best that I can be, a non-conforming puzzle piece. Keep the peace and always take the course in front of me. Love everybody, my daddy and my mommy taught me to be the light we no one can see, so I'll keep doing my best, be an example to the rest, and never rest until I get to where I wanna be. Sing! La,